Good morning. Out on my morning walk. Just dropped off the weasel, and it's Friday the 13th. We were talking about commitment. As many of you know, my wife started walking back in June, and we go out every day, do a couple miles, tries to get 10,000 steps in, and after 27 years of marriage, she's finally putting in the work and doing what she needs to lose weight and be healthy. Dropped 80 pounds, wearing size 8s, doing great. And that kind of is the topic of this walk, is about commitment, getting out there and doing it, and why it seems like you have an issue doing it. And I kind of can harken back to my education. I have a degree in animal physiology, was basically pre-med, UC San Diego, and I have an economics degree with an emphasis on sports from Cal State Bakersfield with the great Dr. Barry. And using those two things kind of explains why people have such a hard time getting out every day and doing something. And also, it's just evolutionary. DNA, genetics, hence the biology, economics. Economics is the study of scarcity. Well, for most of human history, there's been a scarcity of food. And so we've obviously developed the ability to, one, put on weight, or the people that survive, through the winters, like the bears hibernating. But since there's a scarcity of food and energy, athletics and leisure activities really only came into play in the 19th century. Before that, it was amateur things, because only the rich could do it. So if you're busy all day just trying to survive, you certainly weren't going out running, biking, or whatnot. And so if you weren't one of the very top people, you were calorie deficient, and you also had to walk around and do a lot of manual labor anyways. So our genetics are made to be, and don't use this as an excuse, to be lazy, to sit around and waste as little energy as possible, because energy is so precious. Now energy isn't precious, hence you go to fast food places and there's $5 boxes and whatnot. But I remember reading this great article about the great Tarahumara Indians in Copper Canyon. Hopefully I'm saying the name right. I got to hang out with them for a week in Las Vegas. Compliments to Ken and Steph of Beyond Limits Running. We were out there working their trail ultra race they had a few years ago. And I also read this, and where they live has been calorie deficient out in the canyons. And so even though they're great distance athletes, they don't train a lot because their life keeps them in shape, but also there's not spare calories there. And in fact, some of the great things they've been doing with the race they have down there is, I believe, they have like a youth division, and every kid or member of the family who finishes the ultra marathon, they get like a bag of corn, because calories are so important. So it's kind of hardwired into us to not get out and do what we need to do for the goals we have in today's modern society. And I think knowing that is better. I know people go, well, I'm just born this way. It's like, no, we're born to run, we're born to move, but we're also born to survive. And so one of the things of surviving was the lack of calories. So that's kind of hardwired in. But I think knowing that that's one of the reasons, DNA's kind of like saying to you, hey, don't waste energy. We might need that energy to survive. Well, we have plenty of energy here in our modern world. So go out and use it. Get daily miles. The way you get good at this stuff is by putting in the time. And that's what you need to do. Me and Coach Allison preach it all the time, and we do it all the time. Get your morning workouts in before work. It's never too late to start. My wife was 53 before she finally started daily exercise, and she's in better shape than she's been in her lifetime. So, in fact, she just kicked my ass on this 3-mile walk. Anyways, just a little word about why you might not be able to get out there and do it every day. But do it every day, and eventually you'll really learn to love it. Talk to you later.